I think the last 2 years have been the hardest years in the 39 years I've been in education.
A SARS-like virus, which has infected hundreds in China, has now reached the United States.
You know, teachers and staff alike were called on to do things that we'd never done before.
I'm officially declaring a national emergency.
The initial part of not knowing what's going to happen, nobody knew what was going to happen. Are the girls going to be in school? What's going to go on with my job?
And then at first thinking, oh, well, this is just going to be 3 weeks, you know, and everybody's going to be back. But so we can go to remote for, you know, a certain amount of time, but that wasn't what happened.
We were very reluctant of sending the boys back to ALCS to do either online or in person, just because we weren't sure how that was going to go.
But the thing that gets me is how remarkably well our teachers have done.
ALCS, it was amazing how quickly they responded.
They made sure that they focused on the benefits of the children and not disrupting their flow, whereas to the least amount as possible, what can we do to ensure that our kids continue to develop at the same rate that they were before and not allowing COVID to disrupt their educational process.
We tried homeschooling. I don't know who I was kidding because I work full time, so that didn't really work out. But I heard a lot of good things from other parents who had sent the kids back to ALCS in person.
And they didn't lose any academic time, really. And they were back in person before any other schools, which was huge.
Friends that would tell me, your kid's in school? Yeah, they're in school, and they were surprised. So to see that type of passion and dedication and love for the kids to keep the school open and to see how happy my kids are to be in school, that was the best.
Our teachers didn't push back. They knew what needed to be done, and even though it was challenging, they still took that by the horns. And that was one of the most amazing things, and one of the things I'll never forget.
And it gave me a sense of security because they were fighting to make sure that the school stayed open for the kids.
I feel like ALCS has done a great job, and it's really made it easy, at least for me and my husband, to keep them in school during this pandemic. So
the simple fact that we made it through the year, I still remember that last day of school, all gathered together, and the teachers especially through all that they went through. That was a victory, and that we were still together.
I would say that if you're looking for a faith-based school, to ensure that the school that you're considering truly is what they say they are.
I think the biggest thing is education, that you're getting a better education and your child isn't just another student. You know, they're seen for who they are and they're valued, and they're not just gonna kind of float along.
Another important factor was that our values would be reinforced when we're not around, and the kids are at school for such a long period of time. That was important to us.
Somewhere where we weren't going to be there for just a year or two, something where she could grow and develop, where they would help guide her through life as she was maturing through the different phases of life. And the fact that she was able to get here before kindergarten and be in preschool and to go all the way through 8th grade, you knew there was going to be a continued, constant theme in education through the whole process.
When we decided to look at private schools, we just looked at a bunch in the area. You know, we toured all of them, and it was kind of a no-brainer. Like we went on our tour with Miss Jedlick, and it was like, that was the connection, and it was done. And I mean, she walked out and she was like, that's the one I want to go to. I'm like, okay.
My wife and I got a tour here, and immediately we could tell that this was a special place.
As soon as we came in, it just felt like such a welcoming environment. The classes were small, the teachers were friendly, the staff was friendly.
One of the most important things for me was class size. From pre-kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. It allows that attention to detail to the students so they don't slip through the cracks. My daughter was in a classroom where she was able to be given the attention when she needed it, and then they were also willing to pull back when she needed the freedom, the space to explore on her own and try and fail. They were there to support.
The people that are here, they're always there for us, And then they're so kind, and I just love this school.
I feel like I learned more about like how to do things on my own and how to be independent.
How long have you been here?
3 years, 3rd, 4th, and 7th. The reason I came back is probably because I kind of missed the excitement of this school. And I mostly miss all the old teachers and all my friends. When other teachers at other schools teach me, it was like kind of confusing, but Miss Palmer gave it like a type of way where it was very understanding. She gave it like thorough.
One of the many factors that have kept us here at ALCS is the family environment, the community that my daughter's growing up in, the staff and faculty who treat your child as if she was their own. She has some teachers who know very personal things about her, which I appreciate because of the fact that as a mom, we want our kids to come and tell us everything, but that doesn't always happen. So if there's somebody else out there, another adult that she can share these things with, it makes me feel comfortable in knowing that she's being taken care of while she's here at school as well.
The love and passion that they show for our kids, all of that, I mean, it just stirs my heart. It makes me emotional.
Maybe if I don't get a very good grade on my test, I feel kind of like bummed out, and I feel like discouraged that maybe I'm not very good at that subject. And honestly, the teachers can tell. They always figure out a way for me to like make it better and how to definitely like boost my attitude, because sometimes I'm not very happy about it.
They love the students, they're passionate about what they do, and they're good about what they do, especially in these last couple of years have been very difficult. They haven't missed a beat, always smiling. The communication that I get back from their teachers is amazing.
Education is really important for a lot of parents as well as faith, but also seeing like the technology that some schools offer, right? Because I feel like ALCS has a lot to offer in that aspect in terms of technology. And it helps our children be, so aware of that and ahead of the game from us too. I feel ancient when Javi comes home and he's like, Mom, this and that. And I'm like, what is that,
The things we're doing right now is coding, and it's definitely really fun because I get to make it my own and I get to build it. It's very confusing, but once you get to learn it, it's like really fun to do.
I really appreciate the fact that they go above and beyond in teaching things that are necessary in the development of our kids. Different technologies that were personalized to the student, where they were able to bring those home. We've had a lot of different examples with cooking, home economics, talking about balancing a checkbook, interest rates, things that you need in the real world that you might not be introduced to later in life.
The staff and the faculty here have been wonderful throughout the last 10 years for Sophia. I really feel if you're not just looking for, on top of education, just the fact that they care. They really care about your student. And for a mom, that means a lot to me.
I would say first, come visit and get a tour, and you'll be sold just like me. Everyone is accessible, everyone is passionate.
It really feels like a family, more than a school.
I love this school. I think it'll have to be, out of all my schools, probably my favorite school.
For me, it's a beautiful school with beautiful things, and it's just amazing.